Hello everyone, welcome to my channel My3SK. In this session, I'm going to explain you about how to carry out an engineering project effectively step by step. This video will be very useful for the third year and final year students in engineering program, and those who are planning for the mini projects or any other projects will be benefited by this video. The agenda of this video is I'm going to explain what is a project, area of interest, domain, literature survey, trending or recent innovation related to your topic, plan of your work. I'll stop with this video, and in the next video I have planned for these steps, that is execution steps, what is a presentation idea and publication details. Actually, what is a project? The right sense of the meaning and essential characteristics of project is very important. Any project is not just a way to make or do something, but it is an opportunity to achieve some anticipated end result. By implementing a systematic management approach, it may be producing a product or sharing knowledge. In simple words, a project should get an end result. Just doing anything which is not bringing up a good result will not be a project. So first you have to plan a project which should give an end result. So that is very important before you are going to do a project. So here is the right sense or meaning which gives a big difference between these two. So the thing what is differentiating from a project with activity is very important. Just doing something is an activity which you have done in a school days, early school days. You might have done how a respiratory system works, or what is the effect of pollution. That is an activity. But project is entirely different, and in a UG curriculum or a BE project level, definitely it should bear some end result which is a measurable and achievable. So as a definition for it, a project is a finite activity, we can say. So we can say this project is a step-by-step process of an activity which produces an observable and end results, that is measurable results. And a project is carried under certain predetermined requirements, that is it is based on some parameters only we can carry out a project. So decision is very important in making a project. Here comes the project flow, that is how to carry out your project step by step. It is about choosing an area of interest. Next is going with a mentor selection or a guide selection. Next you should go with identification of the problem in the area of interest, whatever you have chosen. Then you go for the literature survey. Literature survey, I'll explain you all these step by step in coming up slides. And next is about the methodology, whatever the methodology they are adopted in different papers, what you have reviewed in the paper, and what methodology you are going to choose for your project. Next is about the executable steps, and what is the software or hardware you have proclaimed, and finally you give the end results. And here don't stop with the results alone, that where the end project ends. Don't think the project ends with your results and results and execution itself. You go with publications. So publications in the sense presenting a paper in an international conference, which will help you to develop nature of getting an insight into your project, whatever you have done with the outside world. So first step is choosing an area of interest. So choose your area of interest, and it may differ from person to person, and select your teammates with similar interest to avoid conflicts. But if it is not possible, then you could go with the teammates and you could select an area of interest at their after their discussion. That is, your teammates is very important in accepting your views, and there should be a cooperation among you all. That is very important in carrying out a project. So you have a doubt in an area of interest, how to choose what is the area of interest in the engineering discipline. So actually area of interest differs based on the discipline you are choosing or you are in. So for civil it is different, for CSE IT it is different, for EC it is different. And as of example, I am giving you some of the list which I know to my knowledge. So for civil, if it is a structural engineering, sustainable engineering, environmental engineering, you could choose any of this area of interest. and you could proceed with your project title or project base. And if you are in CSE or IT, you could go for cloud computing, IoT, and AI, ML, etc. In terms of ECE, there is embedded, VLSI, communication, and in terms of triple E, you could go for power system management, electrical machines, power electronics, and in case of mechanical, you could go for thermal engineering, design engineering itself, then the manufacturing engineering, etc. But right now, the engineering field is not in a situation which is domain specific. So, due to the rise of artificial intelligence and machine learning, it has given a vast change in perspective of engineering. So, I'll give an example here with respect to civil department. So, by reinforcement learning, where if artificial algorithms can be used for a trial and error techniques, to identify the best practices which could be followed by them, and it could be improvised them in terms of reinforcement learning. Example here is drones can be used to identify areas of danger and compare them with the existing blueprints to identify the structural defects. So how I could imagine this is, if there is a tall building or any huge dam, and here the maintenance by the civil engineering is very important perspective. So in that case where the human maintenance is very difficult for it, then drones can be used, and by means of the artificial algorithms, each and every time the blueprints can be taken and it could be viewed. So if there is any defect with the previous printouts whatever they have taken by means of image processing algorithm, they could identify the defects in it and it could be rectified it as fast as it can. So, by reinforcement learning with artificial algorithms, which can use trial and error techniques to identify the best practices to follow. So, as I explained earlier, you could see here the artificial algorithms which is explained here is nothing but the CSE and IT domain. And you could see drones which is used to fly in high area, need some mechanical structures and some design concept which to which height it could fly. Everything is based on the mechanical and aeronautical perspective. And in terms of blueprints, where image processing algorithm could be used, where the ECE and ECE plays a major role. So you could see here for a civil engineering, we are going to collaboratively use the help of with the help of this mechanical CSE, IT, and ECE. We are going to go with this reinforcement learning. This will be very useful in terms of a project selection. After selecting your domain or area of interest, you could go with the literature survey. So as I said, you could go with literature survey, then you could go for the problem identification. It will be better. So first is the literature survey. I am going to explain literature survey. What is it? So it is a study of different research papers related to your project work. So my advice is you to select at least 5 to 8 years of the standard research papers, generally called as Web of Science or Scopus indexed journals. So you could refer from IEEE, Elsevier, Science Direct, Emerald, etc. And identify the methodology they have adopted and what are its list merits and demerits, list them, and you could fix the problem by analyzing either their merits and demerits. And I expect or I recommend you to at least select 20 to 30 papers for your projects to be referred. So what is a literature survey? And I'm going to give you how to select the research paper for your project title, whatever you have chosen. So search paper related to your topic in Google. So it is better to download the paper and rename it as reference 1, reference 2, etc. So as I in the previous slide explained, refer at least 5 to 8 years back paper. So from the present year, example now it is 2020. So at least 5 years back paper And current research is very very important. So the base paper whatever you are choosing should be at least 6 months back from the current month you are going to select your project title, whatever it is. And keep a track of work in diary, that is called as a project diary, which will be asked by your college or whatever, whoever is guiding you. So read the abstract repeatedly to gain knowledge what is done in that particular paper. So read the conclusion and results first. So don't go with the introduction part or whatever methodology first. So in order to download a paper itself, you first read the abstract repeatedly, whether it is suitable for your area, whatever is chosen, and finally go to the conclusion and result. So you might will get an idea what is the end result you are going to get, and what is the expected result you are going to get. So if it matches your ideology, whatever you have chosen for your project, then you could go with the downloading of the paper, rename it and save it, right? If you feel the research paper is related to your project, then read the whole paper. Use the highlighter to mark the points so that you need not search again and again. So when you are going with the highlighter and using it to mark the points, means it will be easy for you to regain it. So you need not read from the first line or whatever you have. So better you have to notify what are the important points specified in that particular paper, and use the empty space to notify the points whatever you have understood in the words what you could understand when you read it again. So it is for your understanding purpose only. So here is what I followed for my research work or project work, whatever it is. Use a diary for it. Note down what is the abstract. Select what is the advantages and what is the disadvantages. Make a note of it. You could be easily reviewed for further purposes. Again, this is an example for a final touch of the literature survey, how many papers you are going to refer, and you could give a year wise what is the process they have followed in the final project review or whatever you are going to submit. So this is a high-end literature survey which gives you complete review of the paper, the total number of papers and its processes. And next is about how I recommend how to do a literature survey and make a note of it. So make a column like this, paper details or titles with the author name and a heading of the paper, and write about the methodology, what is followed in that particular paper, specify the merits point wise and specify its demerits. Why I am asking you to specify all the methodology, merits and demerits means, when you are going for the abstract point, you should know what is followed in the previous research, what is its benefited by that research is given by the merits, and what are the drawbacks due to the technology or methodology whatever they have followed due to the paper will be given here. So if you are following with the demerits, and you take a 1 point of the demerits, and if you could work it in a different way with your own innovative thoughts or ideology, then it will be your project. So you best method is to choose a demerit, and what is the methodology they have chosen. Review more than five. There is I said at least 20 to 30 papers. So select at least five or three most best papers, and go with the methodology among that paper, and give a collaborative work from one paper to another if this algorithm is used. So in second paper there will be another methodology. So if this methodology is used in this algorithm, what will be the result? So that will be an innovative project. So in this way you could give a collaborative work and could produce a result, different result of it. So it will be a project. So here comes another slide with an example of a literature survey done by my students, smart street light system, which is based on IoT technology. They referred many papers for your points I am showing you. They have referred the base paper with 2019 and 2018, which is the earliest from 2019. Their batch is 2019 actually. So you could see here the topic is IoT based dynamic control of streetlights for a smart city. And next paper is an automatic street light using LoRa wireless communication. So methodology opted here is given. So first title paper gives you the new solution of street light control system with the wireless technology. And the second point, they have mentioned that there is a base server which is used to get notification by means of wireless networks that controls the street light. So what are its merits in the first paper is the street lights are controlled by the base server, that is some cloud server. So next is next point important or merits here is implementing this project saves energy. So a wastage of the power utilization will be reduced, and switching off the lights, smart street lights will be implemented in this case. So what are its demerits in this first paper here is, if the server is slow, street lights cannot be maintained. So since by means of the utilization of server, base server only, the control of light is done. If the server is slow, it cannot be maintained, that is a drawback. So next demerit here is, it can't run on the Windows as the ARM processor is not binary compatible with the x86. So it all deals with the specification details of the processor, what is used, that is the components used. So when you go for this type of chosen, so let me explain what is the second paper trying to say. It is about the automatic street light system using LoRa wireless communication. So based on that methodology is given in three stages. So transmitter end uses an ultrasonic sensor, and the receiver end uses a PIR sensor, and these modules are controlled by means of a LoRa module. That is, communication is done by means of LoRa technology. And the main merit here is the switching on of the light is required practically through a vehicle, and the obstacles or whatever the party whoever is moving around the street will be monitored, and due to the sensor placed in each of this street light, it will control the on and off of the street light system. So that is the process which is called as automatic street light using LoRa. So here the demerit here is, the street light will not glow when the road user enters middle of the street. So because of the sensor technology, when the sensor is sensing, it will sense only to a particular area. It has some range. So that is a drawback here. So when in thinking about a smart street light system, what my students have suggested here is, they have controlled of the street light system with respect to the second paper with use of same PIR sensor only. They have controlled the light with respect to brightness, so dimming. So when the obstacle is passing through the particular street or street light, that will be not completely goes off. It will just dims the light, and continuously there will be a light in the street. So it will avoid some security issues when women are passing by. So that was the project done by my students here. So this is for your view, how a literature can be surveyed and what is the modification could be done. So what is the modification done by them is, they used this processor which is a ARM processor instead of this LoRaWAN technology, and implemented that, right. So this is how we could collaboratively use some ideas of first paper in the second paper technology. This is another example of the literature survey done for a real-time ECG monitoring system, which comprises of authors or paper details with methods used and what are its merits and demerits. Next comes the trending topic in your area of interest. How you are going to select the topic for your project. So now I could streamline what is the trending topic in your particular area of interest. So to innovate new ideas, search for trending topics related to your area of interest. Perform the literature survey on the same, compare various methodologies adopted, and select the methodology or algorithm, redesign with your ideas. So here, if now we can say the trending topic is about the COVID-19, how we could go for the health monitoring status of a patient what is the tracking of the patient system. So in terms of app development, how could a patient be monitored, etc., or the some of the openings in terms of trending topic, we can say. Since it is very latest one, I'm giving an example for COVID-19. As mentioned in the previous slide, select the area of interest for the trending topic. Literature survey to be done, methodology adopted. What is the trending topic? Again, do the literature survey. So this is a cyclic process. But when selecting a trending topic in the area of interest, sometimes the paper with recent research will not be available. In terms of COVID-19, since this is a pandemic situation which arose in the end of 2019 by the month of December. So it will be a reasonable topic which gives some research related to your area of topic only. So in that case, you should go with the allied topics related to your area of interest for the literature survey work. Next important point you should consider while doing a project is the fixing up the timeline. So fix the timeline to complete your project, work according to the deadline. So in between, we know it will be reviewed by the project evaluation team, by your project, that is college project team or the project coordinator, etc. So give cooperation with among them. Uh, Kindly work with your teammates to give a best project. So fix the timeline and complete your project. That is very, very important for an effective project. So a project timeline can be reviewed by means of a Gantt chart, which will gives you the completion of the project work. Fix up project work for every week and review it with your project guide. Discuss with your teammates and periodically check with your project guide what should be done for the next week. Then only you could effectively do your project and complete by time before the project final project viva is scheduled. So these are the steps to be followed for an effective project. Hope this video gives you an idea what you should do as a preliminary while selecting a project title and how it could be carried out for a final year project or any project whatever you are carrying on. So thank you for watching my video. Please stay tuned. I will give more information regarding this project selection in the coming up videos. Thank you.